What's up guys, this is Automotive Anonymous. If you're new to my channel, I do car reviews, truck reviews, and 0 to 60s when I'm not doing physical therapy full-time. Today we have another 2023 Mazda CX-50, generously borrowed by Goody Mazda in Southern Idaho. I'll link them below because they're great people to work with. Otherwise, we're gonna get right into it with a walk around, go through the specs, initial driving impressions, and 0 to 60 with a GPS to decide, is this new model, the CX-50, worth your time and money? A base would start about $28,000, but this Premium Plus is the 6th of the 10 trim levels. The highest non-turbo model you can go, it starts at about 37 grand. And after destination and a few other goodies, it's a little bit more than that. It's machine gray metallic, which is really cool. I reviewed a Preferred Plus a while ago, which is a little bit lower than this in the trim level lineup. What you get with the Premium Plus are these nice 20-inch wheels wrapped in a 245 20 Goodyear tire. You get ventilated seats to keep your bum cold in the summer, and you get a dynamic digital display, which is also a pretty cool feature. These got about 24 city, 30 highway, so with a 15.8 gallon tank, you're looking at about 470 miles of road tripping before you have to fill up if you want. They're about 15.5 feet long, 5.25 feet tall, and about 6.25 feet wide with those wide flared out fenders. So it has a really aggressive low wide stance on the road, and it looks pretty darn cool. Lots of safety features with those LEDs, heads up display. You can see the camera for all the adaptive cruise control. It has blind spot monitoring, lane keep assist, and a few other goodies to keep you and your family safe. These compete against things like the Tucson, the CR-V, the Forester, the RAV4, the Nissan Rogue, and it shares a platform with the CX-30, so that kind of explains why it feels so good on the road, very sporty. You have an 8.6 inch ground clearance with a 437 final drive ratio, so it puts the power down really well while being fairly conservative on the MPG. And I think it's time we hop in the car, see what it offers inside. On the back seat and door panel, it looks pretty familiar. We don't get the same stitching, but we do get the same soft touch materials and a grab handle with a decent bottle and storage pocket down here, and the mid door level speaker. Nothing on the door sill. Those mats again are not installed yet, but those seats sure look pretty dang good with all the child safety features right there. And then 60/40 split, it's light, it's easy to maneuver, and it's pretty much a flat loading floor. Sitting behind yourself, I don't know why, but they didn't give me a map pocket. So if I want to be the backseat driver and tell them where to chauffeur me, you want to sit behind the passenger. Otherwise, I do get my own vent and USB with a couple cup holders on the armrest, but no heated seats, no notebook pocket like you get on the CX-5. So that's just gonna have to be okay. In return, you get to look out at the stars or the sun. Probably don't stare directly at it, but that's what you get in the back seat of the 50. Power gate, we can also use the remote to open that if we want. Otherwise, we get quite a bit of storage back here. You get 31 feet with the seats up, you get 56 with them down, so it's within 2 or 3 of what the CX-5 would offer. You can drop the left, you can drop the right, pretty easy. Back here you have a little bit of pocket space behind each of the wheel wells. CX-50 on the floor mat, and then spare tire with the subwoofer down there. Mazda does a really good job, and there's just a little bit of room around the tire to hide some more goodies. Where are you gonna hide? Comment below. One touch lower, or you could lock the whole vehicle from back here. Behind the passenger, door panel looks identical. You get the same features. Again, pretty light 40 split on this side with the map pocket. And if you're checking on your front seat passenger, or if you want to ride shotgun, what do you get? You basically get the same as the driver, minus a few of those extra controls for the windows and the mirrors. You have power seats. The leather again looks really good and stylish with that dark brown trim stitching. And then a non-locking glove box. It has no plugins, no USBs, but it does have a shelf time to look under the hood and see what the 2.5 Skyactiv G looks like and where it resides. Under the hood, it looks pretty good under here. Don't forget, you're driving a Skyactiv G. It's written right there, so you can't forget. Otherwise, we're gonna go through it. Induction through the grille, through the filter, the throttle body, the intake manifold side. Goes through all the magical cylinders to get to the exhaust side, which is hidden by the heat shield. Up top, you have 0W20 full synthetic oil dipstick. You have the battery, the positive terminal, the negative terminal. Brake fluid reservoir, coolant reservoir right here, and the windshield washer. And then because it is a front wheel drive mounted platform, the serpentine belt is right there on the passenger side, and the alternators right up top, pretty easy to get to if you had to. If you had the turbo model, you gain about 70 more horse over this. This one again makes 187 horse, 186 pound-feet of torque. With the 6-speed automatic, it feels pretty punchy. Time for my favorite part of the video. We're gonna teleport inside and go for initial driving impressions and then see how fast it is with the GPS. Initial driving impressions of the CX-50 is that it's really good. We don't have a lot of wind out today, but wind and road noise for what we do have is very well dampened with the insulation of this vehicle. Steering wheel placement, position, seat position, it all feels very good. The seats are very comfortable. The armrests feel great, both on the door. I do like that they have that handle. And then on the center console, everything is right where it needs to be. You can get to your buttons easily. Your cups are just out of the way of the shifter, so no bumping and clanking between them. And the scrolly dial works really well. I still just have the screen turned off for this drive, though you can't see much with the reflection anyways, because a lot of light does come through that fantastic panoramic power moonroof. The back seats again look really good whenever you have to look back there. The Bose speakers always sound good on Mazdas, especially with the subwoofer in the back by the tire, as you saw. And I'm just enjoying it. I'm having a good time with this. I'm going to turn the ventilated seats on. I did have those on earlier, and they do a good job. They make a little bit of noise when they're running, but it's extracting all the heat, which is pretty cool. Mazda heated seats, I think, are some of the best in their class. A lot better than the Subaru heated seats from what I've seen and experienced driving most of the models now. The brakes feel just fine. And acceleration at maybe half throttle, not too bad on this little 4-cylinder. Overall, I really like how this feels on the road. The wheelbase is pretty average for the class in the 9-foot ballpark. Based off of the CX-30, it's just a bigger body, bigger unibody on top. But everything's right where I want it. I do feel pretty sporty. I do feel like it's agile and handles the road well. The blind spot monitoring looks and handles really well at doing its job. And when you go over the line, the steering wheel vibrates, which is kind of cool. I'm not sure that I like that more than the Subaru that just beeps nonstop at you when you do anything slightly incorrect, but it is kind of cool that it's subtle and it doesn't alert the whole vehicle. Additionally, I hope you guys can see it, but on the heads-up display, you can see that line flashes yellow when you're needing to be warned of what you're doing. Comment below, have you guys driven one of these? What are your thoughts on it? I think if you are probably over 6'2", 6'3", I probably wouldn't consider something like this unless you really have the seat leaned back, just because the roof isn't super high, especially on this moonroof model. But at my height, 5'11", it feels really good. I'm really comfortable in it. I know you guys are anxious to see how fast it is, so let's hop to that. We'll get to our private road and we'll get started. The clarity of the backup camera is really good. It's not grainy at all, but when you're backing up and you turn the wheel, the lines to indicate where you're going do not move. 0 to 60 on our private road, we're in sport mode. Traction control is off. I'm gonna brake rev the 6-speed transmission. It actually has a pretty good torque converter on it. Density altitude today is almost 3,000 feet, so we are down on power about 9 to 10%. I'll verbalize the true 0 to 60, and then the bottom left of the graph to follow will show what it does without the fib rollout. That's the way they're rated, even though that's not the true time. Let's go. Engine sounds fantastic, and true 0 to 60 came in at 9.79 seconds. That's pretty average for this class. Final thoughts of the Premium Plus CX-50 is it's no surprise why Mazda created this thing and why so many people can't wait to get their hands on one. They're really cool. The powertrain, as you saw, it's not going to be as fast as the turbo, which will likely be a few seconds faster 0 to 60 as it is on all the other Mazda variations I've driven. If you want to check out those videos, they're easy to find on my channel. But it is cool. It's wide, it's low, you feel sporty driving it, kind of like a bigger version of the CX-30 that it's based on, that platform. They look great. The lines, the angles on this, I'm sure video does not do it justice compared to what these look like in person. But tell me, it has a lot of competitors. Which ones are you looking at personally? Do you think you'll go with the CX-50, or do you think you'll go with one of the other rivals of this? If you were to go with the CX-50, which of the 10 trim levels are you going? Turbo in the top 4 trim levels, or are you going naturally aspirated? I don't think you can go wrong either way. They all offer quite a bit of value for their price point compared to other competition, and Mazda makes a darn good product. So if you like my video, please consider liking and subscribing to Bookmark It to look at more stuff I post weekly. Otherwise, guys, have a fantastic rest of your day. See ya.